Deus meus arriva me. Domine, Domine, exore me, manam vilom da grossa ie, manam vilom da grossa ie. Domine, Domine, exore me, manam vilom da grossa ie. Domine, Domine, exore me.
Gui Gujay Martasha from Wall 2 Go Bra. Hello everybody, my name is Niall McConnell. I'm from Castle Finn, County Donegal. Hope you're all doing well. It's absolutely freezing up here in County Donegal. I think in the rest of the country as well. Please let me know in the live chat where you're all from, what the weather is like. Is it raining? Is it snowing? There's a frost out there. Please let me know. So welcome to tonight's show. We've got a main story tonight, a very disturbing story. 4 foreign men who've come from the UK, but they're not European. I don't know what you would call them. Not European anyway. They're on the run for, well, they're being accused of murdering another fella and almost killing another young fella. And long story short, they were arrested by the Gardaí on something else, on some kind of petty theft crime, but the Gardaí released them because they had no idea who they were. They didn't know that they were on the run for murder. It just shows the complete lacks on border security, and this is a national security threat. Anybody can waltz into our country. The fact that the Gardaí didn't know who they were, I'm not blaming the Gardaí, because if the Gardaí don't have the information on hand, there's nothing they can do. But as a fact, our borders are wide open. Anybody can come into this country, and it's interesting that they fled to Ireland. This is where they come, and we've seen this before. Remember where the mass murderer from Rhodesia, Zimbabwe? He fled there. They were looking for him in Rhodesia, or Zimbabwe as it's called now, after they kicked all the whites out of there. A mass murderer there. He was wanted for mass murder. And where did he flee to? He fled to Ireland. And he came in here with no passport, changed his name, fake pseudonym. And that's another thing. These suspects, they were using fake names, pseudonyms. And the Gardaí arrested him. Now, one of them has given himself in to the UK police, and the other 3 are on the run, probably still at large in Ireland. And there's not a peep out of the mainstream media. They won't talk about this. Our children their safety is at risk here. and the mainstream media refuse to talk about it. They refuse to show the pictures. It's disturbing the attitude of the Irish mainstream media. Okay, so before we get into tonight's action, everybody, we're going to say our Lord's Prayer as Gaelic, so please join me. Amen. Arn Yahara tar now, go nefer Danium, go dagda the red, go yanter de holland talav mar yanter now. Ar narn le hult or doing you, ox might doing our fecta, mar a waihamais dar fect in a fein, act election a gahu, act seer shana ulk, amen. Now the Menaharagas of Vic, ox spirit need, amen. Alright, everybody, welcome to tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining me. Where are you all from? Maybe you have already told me. Sorry I didn't see the live chat there. Let me go to the live chat quickly to see how everybody's doing. Reno, thank you so much for moderating. John Quivlin, what about you? Asia Zet, good to see you. Ricky House, what about you? Sylvia, good to see you. Jack Jones. Robert McGuire, into the light, says he's from Sligo. Highly trained doctor, says Stevie Thompson. Yeah, I'm assuming you're a bit sarcastic there. Impy says she's from Sweden, or he's from Sweden, one of the two. Anne Galway, we're assuming you're from Galway. Who else has got here? Yoel Plotz. Aaron Brown says greetings from New Jersey. Good man yourself, an Irish American in the house. William, good to see you. MG, good to see you too. Bud the dog. Joseph O'Donnell, what about you? Were you suffering with some overload in your work there, Joseph? He didn't come to the Irish language class, but you're always there anyway. It was a good class this week. Is there snow? Yeah, there was snow last night and this morning there. Anne says, hello Niall, freezing in Galway here. Yeah, it's freezing probably everywhere. Ed Bredgen. And I live in Rush. It's freezing here with ice here all day. Good man yourself. Freezing hard in Leitrim, says Glenn. Keystone Cop says David Brims. Good to see you, David. Thanks for joining us. Michael McFadden. But everyone is fingerprinted, says Michael McFadden. Yeah, so they say anyway. County Tyrone says Stephen. Brum, of course, says Angela. Yeah, Birmingham is a rough place. Kiev used to be Bundoran. Volcara here. Mr. Joe. McEntee says David McCrory. Okay, so good to see some of the people in the live chat. Look, if you're new to the show, my name is Niall McConnell. We do live streams, 2 or 3 times a week. Depending on my schedule, I'll try to do as many as possible. We're trying to push back against this mass immigration invasion, trying to expose it. We've been doing this for a long time now. Trying to raise awareness, trying to raise the alarm. I ran in 2 elections there in 2024. Local elections, almost got elected. The local elections as a local councillor, and the general election did quite good. Got 2,200 votes. So we keep pushing forward now. So anyway, look, let's go to this main story, right? Let me see now, can I get this story up here? So this is on Gript. Let me zoom in a wee bit. Do we need to zoom in at all? Hold on. Okay, so this is the suspects here. 3 of them. Do they look Irish to you? And if you look at the person that died, he's a white young fella. Wee young fella, white. Again, racially motivated attack. Caleb Awe, Aquaid Jeffers, and Enham Nishat. Okay. UK murder suspects arrested in Ireland before release without charge court hears. See, this only came to light in the UK court system. No, there wasn't Irish media or mainstream media journalists doing some investigative journalism. No. This came to light through the UK court system because I believe this guy who handed himself in, one of the 4 fellas who wanted for murder, he handed himself in and he's going through trial at the minute. So UK court has heard how 4 suspects, one of whom is on trial for the murder of a young man in Leeds 2023, came to Ireland on a ferry shortly after the killing. The 4 men, Rani Wilkes, Caleb Awe, Aqua Jeffers and Enham Nishat, boarded a ferry bound in Wales for Rosslare after the murder of 18-year-old Jimmy Maya. It was reported that Maya and then 16-year-old Kine Priestley were set upon and kicked, punched and stabbed with a sword in relation to a drug gang turf dispute in the Armley area of Leeds. The 4 suspects were arrested by Gardaí in Ireland in relation to a petty theft, but were released without charge. The Yorkshire Post reported that the 4 used fake names while in Ireland. My surprise. See, I've been saying this all along. Regarding the asylum process in Ireland, we know for a fact that 87% of asylum seekers arriving into Ireland are destroying passports. We don't know who they are. This is a national security issue. Continuing, Gript contacted in Garda Síochána in relation to the arrest of the 4 men in this jurisdiction. At the time of publication, we are yet to receive a response and will update this article in due course. 3 of the men, Caleb Awe, Aquid Jaffers and Inham Nishat, remain at large, while Ronnie Wilkes gave himself in after a year on the run and is on trial before Leeds Crown Court this week. Now 23, Wilkes turned himself into the police after arriving back in the UK on a flight from Turkey. Wilkes is charged in relation to the murder of Mia, the attempted murder of Priestley, as well as possession of a blade. West Yorkshire Police said they believe that all 3 are living in hiding overseas and that they are continuing to attempt to locate them with the assistance of the Crown Prosecution Service. Look, I would say they're still in Ireland. So our children are at risk here, our women, our men. These 3 criminals who are probably in Ireland right now, they were in Ireland, they were arrested by the Gardaí. The Gardaí let them go because they didn't know who they were. They were using fake names. When I say our borders are wide open, this is exactly what I mean here. This isn't the first time that mass murderers have fled to Ireland, because Ireland is known as a soft touch. Ireland will look after criminals. They'll look after criminals before they look after their own Irish people. On the day of the murder of Jamie Mia, he and Kine Priestley had taken a taxi to a location in Armley to meet some drug customers. When the vehicle the teenagers were travelling in arrived at its destination, 4 men got out of a waiting Mercedes, with the taxi driver testifying that Wilkes was carrying a bladed instrument between 3 and 4 feet long. The attack that followed was described as a vicious, sustained, barbaric and brutal assault by the prosecution. The 2 victims had attempted to escape in the taxi, were dragged from the vehicle, where Marsh sustained fatal injuries, including the severing of the femoral artery. He ran from the scene to raise alarm but lost consciousness before emergency services arrived, according to the BBC. Although Priestley also sustained stab wounds, his injuries were not life-threatening. Last November, detectives investigating the murder Maya renewed their appeal for information on the day his family marked the first birthday of the baby son he never met. My God. Senior Investigating Officer Detective Inspector Damien Rubeck said, "We are continuing to carry out extensive inquiries to trace Jeffers, Awe and Nishat and remain determined to keep everything we can to get justice for Jamie's family." So there you go. What a brutal murder that young fella went through, and the 4 criminals, 4 murderers, they went to Ireland. Our borders are wide open. We need to close our borders. Look after our own people, look after the Irish people, look after our Irish women and children who are at risk here. We've seen it too. Our young children getting stabbed up in Dublin by foreign nationals. This has to end. Our borders are wide open. We are not the dumping ground. We're not a third world dumping ground, but we are turning into it, aren't we? Okay, what do you all think of the live chat? What's your opinions on the story? Let me know in the live chat, please. America has been flooded with Indian migrants also more lately, and Trump and Elon are trying to speed up the process so more of them can get jobs in the US, and it's harming us greatly. Absolutely, I've seen that as well. HB1 visas, isn't it? Don't you mean Biden? Angela Donald, almost as cold here in Finland. Yeah, it's cold in Finland, cold in Ireland. Lex says, yeah, I agree. More than likely they are here, absolutely. Jon Snow says, we have no idea who they really might be. Yep. What have they... No, what else have they done? I'm sure we have had enough also. God help us. When will Ireland be saved? Absolutely sickening. The absolute dregs coming in. Joseph O'Donnell says, I keep hearing on social media tourists are now scared to visit Ireland. Well, it's true. You know, Ireland relies heavily on tourism. No good, for example, Americans coming to Ireland, spending lots of money in the local restaurants, the pubs, etc., etc., spending money in Ireland, keeping small businesses afloat. We rely on that. But Africans, Americans don't come to Ireland to see Africans flooding the streets of Ireland. They come for the culture, the the wee talks in cafes with Irish waitresses, the talks to the Irish barmen. That's what they come for. They come for the cultural experience, the authentic Irish experience. Like, if they want to see a lot of Africans on the streets of Ireland, they don't have to go far. They can go down to downtown Chicago or go to any major city in America. They don't have to come to Ireland. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay. Listen to this illegal immigrant from Pakistan explain how he paid €15,000 to be trafficked into Ireland, and once he got here, NGOs looked after him. They provide us with food, clothes, shoes, everything. That's nice, isn't it?
Volunteers are very good. They come and they help us in different ways. Like, they provide us food, clothes, everything, like shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the expectation?
Like, we.
Are you gonna stay here for good, like in Ireland? You wanna stay for good, or you wanna just get a job and go back to Pakistan, or?
Like, we will stay here for. Like, we want to do something for Ireland. We are come here to do work and make our life better here. Like, we come from Pakistan for a better life here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Yeah, they come for a better life at the behest of the Irish people. We're paying for it. They're sucking off the Irish taxpayer. What is Pakistanis coming into Ireland? It's human trafficking. He said it himself.
need a visa to work in Ireland or in Europe? Did you apply for the visa before? No.
No, we come here with, like, illegally.
Illegally, yes.
Yeah.
How come illegally? How it works illegally?
Illegally, like, we come from Pakistan.
Sorry. Yeah.
By Iran and that, like Turkey, Iran, and that's way, and come here. Like, it takes us 5 months or to 1 year. Some people came. Some people it take a long time for some people, and and I usually take like 5 to 6 months to come here to Ireland.
5 to 6. How much is the cost you to come?
Like, it's cost $15,000 to $16,000.
15?
Yeah.
$15,000.
Yeah.
Oh, basically you just you lost your paperwork. Is it documents when you came to Ireland? Is it? Do you have a document with you, or you just lose it?
No, we don't have a document.
You don't have a
Yeah,
document.
Yeah, don't have documents, destroyed their passports, paid $15,000, roughly €15,000 to get in here, destroys documents. Ireland is, their borders are wide open. People need to understand here. And it's not the best of sin, is it? Close our borders, deport all foreign criminals immediately. Enough is enough. What's everybody saying in live chat? Let me see. Lex Trumbas says, I came to Ireland to be safe from South Africa. Now feel as unsafe here as I felt there. Oh my god. Sorry about that. I have a great respect and admiration for the Europeans that are in South Africa. They're going through a terrible time at the minute. A lot of them, their country's been handed over to a load of idiots. Not only idiots, the ANC is working in cahoots with criminals and killing white farmers in South Africa. We know for a fact that is happening. And the police force are working against the whites. The whites built that country. Okay. What else have we got here for you? So let me see. Bad news out of Coolock. Dublin City Council has given the go-ahead for a migrant plantation, deeming it exempt from planning laws. The locals have protested the site non-stop, and they've been beaten and pepper-sprayed for not wanting migrants in their community. Well, this is the thing. Like, when you're housing migrants, you don't need to abide by planning laws. Me or you, if we're looking to build a house, we have to go through all the rigmarole, go through all the red tape. No, not if you're housing migrants. The gravy train must go on for them. What do you all think of what I'm talking about? Any of the videos, any comments, please let me know. Dan O'Hagan says, good job, Niall. Keep up the good work. YouTube have seemed to have censored you for a while. You weren't on my feeds for a good while. Yeah, they're likely to do that, aren't they? They can just walk through the airport, absolutely, they can. You're right there. Lily says, I can vouch for the number of Americans who are afraid to travel to Ireland. Sad, isn't it? You know that Ireland used to be once a very, very, very safe country, you know? Used to be able to leave your front door open, your car open, not anymore. Okay, Sinn Féin then, up the IRA, Brits out, Ireland belongs to the Irish. Now, Sinn Féin, Brits out, everybody else. And look at this video here. Now, anybody still supporting Sinn Féin gets their head checked. They do check into the mental.
We have been so great.
Oh, hold on, show this video here.
We have been so graciously received here by our friends from the Islamic community, and I suppose in many ways our visit is a reflection of the fact that Ireland and Belfast is increasingly diverse, that we now have so many new and exciting opportunities because of that diversity. And our message this evening is that nobody should be fearful of this. This is a positive for all of us. So we have paid our first trip. This will not be our last visit. We're sure of that. There's much work to be done to support each other, to celebrate each other. And I'm happy to say that we have all made new friends this evening.
There you go. Brits out, everybody else, and they support the Islamification of Ireland. They support the plantation of Ireland, the new plantation. Sinn Féin are nothing but a bunch of anti-Irish traitors. They have sold out the men and women who gave their lives for Irish freedom. They've turned their backs on them. You know, Bobby Sands, the great Irish martyr, said, our revenge will be the laughter of our children. Well, Sinn Féin, dead babies don't laugh. You also support the murder and the butchering of unborn Irish children. There is no future for any country, particularly Ireland, if you persist and you insist on killing unborn Irish children. There will be no future. The Irish birth rate is plummeting. The indigenous Irish birth rate now is 1.1. That means every woman is having, on average, 1.1 children. We need it to be double that, 2.1 minimum, just to sustain the population. And that's another thing that's never talked about. Birth rates, and Sinn Féin obviously support the plummeting of Irish birth rates. They support abortion, forcing our youngsters to leave, and they support mass migration into Ireland. Is that my actual house? No, it's just a green screen behind me. Sometimes I do say it as my house to kind of have a bit of a laugh, but anyway, no, it's not my house. It's a green screen. It looks like it is my house. It is quite good, isn't it? Okay, what else have we got here for you, everybody? So, like, as I was saying, you know that first story, right, that I was chatting to you about the 4 murderers who fled to Ireland? Well, there's not a peep from the mainstream media, right? And January, right, this January marks the 5th year anniversary of our party newspaper, the Irish Patriot. You know, I'm very, very proud of our paper. We've distributed, I don't know exactly, but roughly as close to 500,000 newspapers of all our issues in the past 5 years. You know, I'm very grateful to everybody who supported our newspaper. Anybody who's handed out our newspaper all over Ireland, at their protests in the towns, put them through letterboxes, left them in churches. We're very, very grateful and honoured that we've been able to keep this going. So that time again where we need to raise funds for the next issue of our very own newspaper, the Irish Patriot. That's one of the issues there. It's the only Irish national newspaper in the whole island of Ireland. Now, we want 50,000 newspapers printed. And, you know, for example, we'll be covering a story about the 4 murderers who fled the UK, came to Ireland, are now roaming the streets. Like, it's our job to tell the truth. The mainstream media are not doing their job, so we must cover what's happening. And, you know, you have to understand too, a lot of people are not on social media. A lot of the older people are not on social media. So we need to get through to them other ways. And the Irish Patriot newspaper is the best way. And we have, over the past 5 years, developed a very tight-knit, highly motivated distribution team all over Ireland. Now, I want a distribution team in every single town, and eventually we will get there. But we need to keep pushing forward now. But unfortunately, look, I can't do this on my own. The reason that there is only one Irish nationalist newspaper in the whole island of Ireland, our paper, the Irish Patriot newspaper, is because you support it, you fund it. And again, we need support every single issue. Unfortunately, this issue, we're struggling quite a bit. But I'm hoping people listening to the stream will support me. There's a link in the description to support it. Anybody who's listened to my stream the past number of years know we get the newspaper out there. We're true to our word. Once a newspaper comes in, I spend days on end packaging up newspapers, sending it out in the post to our distributors. Now, we do sell it as well, but we give a lot of the newspapers out to our distributors to put them through letterboxes to bring the truth to the Irish people. Now, we need to raise as much funds as possible to get to our target. I can't remember, it was like just over €3,000, I think, is what we need to get this newspaper printed. If you want to chip in, there's a link below this video, newspaper fundraiser, I think it's called. Chip into our campaign. If you can chip in €10, great. If you can chip in more, even better. Now, there's a monthly button too if you want to set up a monthly donation. That helps us as well. Really, really important to get the newspaper out there. So if you can support us, I'd be very, very grateful. Okay, right, let's move on here. So the Clonskee Mosque is the largest mosque in Ireland. Its members have close ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and the US diplomatic cables indicated that the American government had serious concern about what's going on here. Not shocked. Okay, let's see here now. Let me mute this actually, in case of copyright strike. Hold on a second, let me get this video up now. There it is, absolutely massive. Ireland's largest mosque. Would break your heart out, the Islamification of Ireland. The Irish have never had a say in this. Ireland is a Christian country, whether people like it or not. The majority of people in Ireland are Christian, Protestant or Catholic. Okay. Now there's another wee clip here, or another wee article below the scene, another relevant post about this issue. Despite a relatively small population, Ireland has become an important centre for the global Muslim Brotherhood in Europe. Two organisations, the Islamic Cultural Centre of Ireland, funded by a foundation controlled by the ruling family of Dubai, and the Muslim Association of Ireland, have strong ties to each other, and the Federation of Islamic Organisations of Europe, essentially the Muslim Brotherhood of Europe. The ICCI and its leaders have a history of support for fundamentalism, religious intolerance and terrorism, while the MEI has a history of Palestinian and anti-Israeli activism. Despite the record, the Irish Muslim Brotherhood enjoys good relations with the Irish government. My shock. So there you go, that's what's happening in our Ireland right now. So it's good to see so many people in the live chat. Look, if you're new to the show, please subscribe. The very least you could do is share these videos with all your friends and family. That's the very least you could do. Just put them on your WhatsApp group, send them to your friends and family. Like, that is the very, very least you can do. Helps us get the message out there, right? Any questions, let me know in the live chat. Billy Marno says, we used to go to the Donegal, but many are saying we should stay away. Well, I was Dunlow the last day, and they're protesting. Well, they claim they weren't protesting, but they're protesting against a friggin' migrant. Who was terrorizing the post office. Niall, would you give a wee update on the mother and son who were sleeping in the car? They got a caravan in the end with your brilliant help. Out. They safe. Oh, look, I intended to make a video about that because I was speaking to Chris recently. So long story short, right? Got them a mobile home. And a fella actually from Donegal contacted me and said, "Look, we've got he can stay at my. I've got a wee site with they can put the mobile home on." And everything was sorted. They went and bought the mobile home. The mobile home was brought to the site, but then the man had a change of heart. He said because Chris has got a wee dog, and they said, "Oh, I don't want a dog on the site." So we're left back at square one again. We had a mobile home, but didn't have a place to put it. But eventually, we put that much pressure on, I believe, the council. The council have given them a place, like an adequate place now for the homeless family. It's just through sheer pressure from the likes of ourselves, putting pressure on the council, and they've given them a house. I think they're moving in the next week or two. So that's that. They've got a place now to go into. Yeah, so that's. I do need to make an update video on that. But there's, for those of you who are wondering, that is the update. Okay, here's an interesting clip, right? Alan Shatter, who was a member of the tribe, served as Ireland's Justice Minister from 2011 to 2014. During his tenure, he significantly transformed the Irish citizenship process, personally granting passports to 69,000 foreign nationals. In 2013, he expanded the Irish asylum process, citing the Syrian civil war, although the highest number of asylum applications actually came from Nigerians and Pakistanis. Shatter was particularly keen on increasing the number of Africans entering Ireland. Under his watch, the rejection rate of asylum seekers dropped from 47% to 3%, which led him to receiving the African World Man of the Year award.
We're hugely.
Let's see now.
We're hugely dependent in Ireland
Massive.
for migrants in our hospitals, in our nursing homes, in whole different ranges of businesses. I'm talking about migrants both from within the EU and outside the EU.
And they've integrated very well.
And hugely dependent on that. But you have in place a system where economic migrants who come here can come here through a system that operates correctly and efficiently. But where people claim political asylum and claim to be political migrants, you also have an efficient decision-making system. They don't have an efficient decision-making system, and they've been overwhelmed by the numbers. And I do understand and appreciate the numbers hugely increased since I became Minister for Justice, but there seems to be a complete absence of forward planning and insight and how you go about this in a way that actually works and is practical. And of course, and that is an issue, and I understand that being an issue, but we mustn't allow this country to become racist. We mustn't accept the type of racist narrative and dialogue that was so well illustrated in that very well done RT.
Yeah, it's interesting, Alan Shatter. You don't advocate for immigration into Israel, and they have the most strict immigration laws in the whole world. You don't advocate for that. Israel has allowed strong borders, but and your loyalty, I'm sure, lies with Israel, not Ireland. This is just typical, isn't it? Just stereotypical. Okay. What else have we got here for you? So as I was saying there, look, we're trying to get this Irish Patriot newspaper to print. This our very own newspaper, the Irish Patriot, Ireland's only Irish national newspaper in the whole island of Ireland. We're not funded by the state. We're not funded by NGOs. We rely on the support of our followers, our listeners, to get to print. It will cost a lot of money to bring a newspaper out to print. It's not easy. Like, it's no mean feat. Believe you me. So we're asking you for your support. If you can chip in, the link is in the description. If you can chip a €10, fantastic. If you can chip in more, even better. Let's get Ireland's only Irish national newspaper to print. I would be very, very grateful. Let's see, has anybody donated so far? Okay, nobody has donated. Not one person, not €5, €10, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Come on, people. I seem to be just providing entertainment here for you. There's 250 people watching live. and not one person has donated. Come on. Anyway, that is what it is. You can chip in if you want, if you can afford it. I'd be greatly appreciated. Link is in the description. What's everybody saying in the live chat? Good night, my man, and take care, says Angela. Thank you, Angela. Good night. Why the likes of Dubai, Egypt, and etc. not taking in these people? Well, this is the thing. They don't take in any of the migrants. They're force them on European people. Yep, most of these people aren't even fleeing war. Absolutely, from Nigeria. No war in Nigeria or Pakistan. Okay, everybody. Look, that's it for me tonight. Hopefully you can support our newspaper. Like, if we don't get your support, the newspaper fails. Like, I don't know how else to say it. You know, we rely on your support. We cannot do this without you. Like, as I said, like, nobody has supported this paper, at all. The stream. You know, there's 250 people watching live, and not one person has chipped in. Yes, we still use the PO box. If you want to, you don't have to donate online. You can do so via the PO box. If you go to the description, the address is there. Niall McConnell, PO Box 13122, Lifford, County Donegal, Ireland. You know, if you want to donate, check or postal order or whatever. Okay, so there you go. Alright, everybody, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again soon. God bless us all. Aaron Go Bra.